So, hello guys, and yes, it is the night club story. And so basically, this is take 2, which is really annoying because now I just have to wait for like a whole hour just to charge the batteries, and hopefully they do not die. So I'm probably not even gonna have the same energy as I did, but hopefully I do. And so so basically, before we even got there. Remember we went to Envy, not Neo. I don't know if we are going to go back, but I don't know. But you will find out after this, near the end of this video. So basically, before I even went to Envy, James even told me that he was going to come at 7:30, and then he turns up at 8:15. So we didn't even get there till half 8, 7:45, and I'm kind of glad that we didn't get there so early, because to be honest, it was actually crap when we actually got there, because there was actually hardly anyone there. Well, there was people there, but it was like, I don't know, 50 people, maybe a little bit more. Sorry, I keep coughing now, I don't know why, it was fine earlier. Basically, yeah, the start was crap, and I don't know if you guys want to be added in this video, but I'm just going to say anyway. So basically, Tyler, Holden and Chanel Gaylord came. I think it's because they saw me advertise it on Facebook. And they actually turned up at 6 o'clock because they didn't know what time it started. And it started at 7:30 or 7 o'clock. And yeah, so that was a bit stupid. And they were actually proper bored. And I did say that it probably won't even be good. And it was actually pretty crap. They stayed till like 9 o'clock. And basically, they left. Well, before they right. So I'm getting ahead of myself. See, because I'm doing take 2. Yeah, I'm like going ahead of myself. So basically, I'm just gonna have a drink, because I have a bad throat. I don't know why. I was fine. So basically, when we actually got there. Or they always check you, you haven't got any drugs or anything. And when I can't even speak now. When we walked in, it was actually empty. And so we just went to the bar and just got a drink of Coke. And so basically, when I turned back round, like 5 girls or 4 girls came up to me and said, "I know you." And I looked at James and I was like, "Do you know them?" And obviously none of us knew who they were. And she was like, "Oh, I know you." And I was like, "Well, I don't know you, so go away." And so basically they kept on saying, "Yeah, I know you. You're doing those weird dance moves." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that sounds like me." And so basically, I was, I don't want to be like all like selfish, but I'm sure she said like, "Oh, you looked pretty hot when you were up there." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And the first thing that came into my head was, "How old are you?" And she said 13, and I just walked away. And she just looked at me and like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "You're 14, for God's sake, fuck off. I'm double your age." Well, I'm 16, but you know, so 3 years apart, that's pretty big. And she's probably only just started her period. And so basically, after that, she kept on like stalking us for like half an hour. So that was a bit weird. And then after we started, we tried to dance, and I just got bored because there was hardly anyone there. But then, sorry, I think I'm coming down with a flu straight away, like just like that. And so basically, Tyler and Chanel, they left at like 9:30, but it was pretty boring. And I thought we were actually going to leave like a couple minutes after them because it was that boring. But James wanted to stay just because, like, you know, we hardly even done anything there. So and it was funny because when they left, Tyler and Chanel, this guy just came up to me and said, "I know you." And like all these people just kept on coming up to me and said, "I know you," and I'm like, "I don't know you," and for some reason, like, it felt like I was a celebrity. Like, they knew me somehow, and I'm like, "I don't know you. I'm sorry." But no, yeah, so many people just came up to me, and this guy said, "I started on you," and I was like, "Did you?" And I had no idea who he was, and so basically he was like, "Yeah, I know you. I started on you," and I was like, "Well, I don't know you," and he was trying to explain what he said, and I was like, "I have no idea who you are. I don't think you started on me, because if you did, I'll probably smack you in the face, because whatever reason it was, I probably wouldn't have liked it." And yeah, apparently he knew me, apparently he started on me, and I have no idea who he was. So we just laughed about it, and he was a bit annoying sometimes, but other than that, it was fine. And so the night just dragged on because it was a bit boring. And so we met a couple girls that were 15. I'm sure they were 15, and two of them had a boyfriend, and one of them was single. And the girl who was had a boyfriend, I started flirting with her, and when I started flirting with her, she started like going back because she was like laying back because like she had a boyfriend, and she did like me, but she obviously had a boyfriend, and I would understand that because obviously you don't want to be a cheater, and so that was a good thing. The girl who was single wasn't really that fit, to be honest. No offense if you're watching this video. And so that was okay. I'm not going to go straight into the main bit, guys. If you're thinking of just skipping, don't, because you're probably going to go past the best bit. And so I have no energy as well. Seriously. Having to do 2 takes on a video that's going to take like 15-20 minutes is going to be annoying. And so right, let's just get on with it. So, and I'm trying to remember it as well. Okay, so after we Chanel and Tyler actually left, it actually started getting better, and so that was actually pretty good. And so we met these other 2 girls called Laura and Jasmine, and they were both fit. They were actually pretty fit. And the funniest thing is that this girl called Jasmine, her last name's Basta, and now you must be thinking, if you do know the person, if anyone knows Joe Bastard, I basically met his sister, and she's pretty hot, so you might want to look her up. Her name's Jasmine Bastard. She's fit, and me and her actually got quite well, not, I don't know, but we got along pretty well. She's a bit crazy, like dancing wise, but she's fit. And this other girl called Laura, she's blonde, and oh man, she's fit as well. And we found out they were 14, which ain't too bad, you know. They've started their period, so you know. No, I'm just joking, but no, she was 14. She probably, I think she's 15 this year, so it's not too bad. And so I'm actually chatting her up as we speak, you know. and so we actually got along quite well. And the awkward thing was that if you actually went back to my my recent nightclub story, I spoke about this girl who actually peed herself by just laughing, and she peed herself on the bed as well. If you haven't seen that, you want to go and check it out. And she looked just like almost a spitting image. Well, not a spitting image, but like close enough image to the girl who wet herself. So I said, now this is my turn saying, "I think I know you." So I was like, "I think I know you." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're over there." And she was like agreeing with me, and I was like, "Oh, it must be you who peed yourself." So I said, "Were you the one who peed herself?" And she was like, "No." So it was really awkward, because I just like basically said about a girl who peed herself, and it wasn't even her. So that was awkward. But she was really nice. And so after that, we met this other guy called Joe Whitemore. I think that's his last name. He's pretty big, and he's got short hair. He's pretty bulky as well, probably twice the size of me. So you know, pretty big. I think I'm taller than him, or we could be the same height. And he actually had a lot of money in his wallet, and I would have to say, I know, at least 500 quid, no joke. There was like loads of 20s, loads of 10s, and he spoke to me and James and said that all the girls are just coming after me just because of my money. And then I was thinking that, okay, fair enough, there's no surprise there, but why would you bring so much money to a nightclub that only costs you £5 to get in and you have unlimited free drinks? What the hell are you going to spend it on? You don't bring 500 quid unless you're going to get loads of alcohol or buying things, I don't know. Or buying a hooker, I don't know. And so yeah, that was weird. But he was actually pretty cool, to be honest. And we'll go back to him in a minute because it relates to something else. So I don't know why I'm actually like, I don't know why. Seriously, I have no idea what freaking I'm saying. So I'm gonna be annoyed if I leave some out when I finish this video because I'm kind of trying to skip ahead. So basically, after we met this Joe guy, me and James were just trying to have some fun, you know, flirt with girls, have some, make them laugh. You know, you go to a nightclub just to have fun, or try and get off with a girl, but just make sure she's not like underage. And so I went on. If you've actually been to Envy, there's like this box that you can like dance on, and so we went on that, and you know, they had the CO2 jet machine. That was shockingly bad. I reckon that was a waste of time. It wasn't even that good, to be honest. And so me and James were just like dancing on there with some girls, and like 5 minutes after, they like said that like they had to go. And they weren't too bad as well. I think it's the Cara Neil group. Not Cara Neil. Sorry about that. Cara. I don't know. Cara somebody. Cara Young. And some of you might know her. I knew her because of Facebook, so I was like, oh, actually I know you. You're Cara Neil. Cara Young. And she was like, oh yeah. And she ain't too bad. Like, she's pretty fit. And she's 15, so that's not too bad. And her friend apparently had a thing for me, so I was like, yeah, whatever. She wasn't too bad as well. And so that wasn't too bad. And so I think it was them lot who had to go. And this kid, there's always got to be a dick. Now this is the main bit, guys. So if you got this far and you haven't skipped, just stay on this bit, because this is basically the bit that's most interesting, I think. So this kid, don't know, 14, 15. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he was like 5 years old, because how much of a dick he was. So me and James were just dancing, having a good time, not starting on anything. And basically he was being so immature. Like, I knew I was that immature when I was like 13, 10. And I know I'm pretty immature, but I'm not as immature as he was, what he did. So basically, he was with his mates, and he was just trying to be funny with all the girls, you know, being a dick, cocky. Oh my god, I want to smack him in the face. And basically, oh, I just farted, sorry. Basically, he was a scrawny little tiny fucker, around about 5'2", pretty small. And I think he might be a little bit taller than James, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, I wasn't really taking much note of his height. And apparently his name's Macaulay, and it's not the guy from Hewish Guys, the gay guy. That's the only way I can put it, but anyway, sorry about that. And so basically, he lifted up the back of his shirt up to, so where you can basically see his ass. And basically he would start like tapping on his feet like really fast, you know when you do squats. Well, that's not squats, but like you just go really fast like that with your feet, like tap dancing. And he would go back, like do that while going backwards and putting his ass out onto me and James, like like basically he wanted us to bum him. So we were like, what the hell is your problem? And when he did it the third time, and this is where I was getting proper annoyed, even James was. Well, I don't think he was as annoyed as I was. And when he did it the fourth time, I just grabbed him hold and just threw him off the bloody box thing. And because I was getting so annoyed, I just felt like smacking him in the face. And unfortunately, his mates were actually holding him, so then he didn't actually fall off and smack his face on the ground. And he did it the fifth time. He wasn't stopping, so I threw him off again. Unfortunately, his mates were holding him. They were all just laughing. And he did it the sixth time, and I threw him off again, and James was getting annoyed. And also was I. James, this is where James was getting like, okay, right, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit into you. Because he was getting annoyed as well. And it's really funny seeing James get annoyed. Because his face was like... he was getting annoyed though. So I just told James, I told James to walk off, just leave it, don't try and start an argument or anything. So we thought by doing that was going to make him stop. Unfortunately, he was being more of a dick and he came over and done it again. This time he did it to James, and he did it once. He did it twice to James. James like grabbed on hold of him, and because James grabbed on hold of him, he basically held on to James as well to pull him with him when James pushed him. And unfortunately, James like went in with him. So James' first thing he did was grabbed him hold, tried to like throw him in my direction where I was. James grabbed his throat, and like I think he was squeezing. I think he was squeezing, because I don't think if you were trying to grab on someone's throat, you wouldn't just have him like that. I think he was proper holding him, and I was about to like jump in and like take him down as well, but I saw the security guard, and I knew if I hit him, I would have just got kicked out straight away. And seriously, I just felt like grabbing his head and just like smacking him. Oh, I don't know what I would have done. He pushed me to the limit where I was almost going to kill him, because he was being that immature. James was like huffing and puffing, you know, I'm going to fucking kill you as soon as we get out this fucking door. And it was really funny. He actually ripped his top a little bit, like stretched it. And he was getting really annoyed, like he just kept on looking at him. And I was like, I was going to do something, but I just knew if I did, it was just going to be a downside to the night, because like I would have just got kicked out when we still had like half an hour left. And so unfortunately that happened, and when the security guard came, he was like, we should just play fighting. And I was like, did that look like play fighting? That looked like a freaking arm wrestle where you punch someone in the face so they lose. I don't know. And so he was like, right, come with me. The kid actually walked off when the security guard came. And so when the security guard got him, we both had to go outside. The security guard came out and was like, alright, what the fuck's going on? And he didn't actually say what the fuck, I'm just making it sound more exaggerated. It sounds better when he says it. And he was like, what the fuck's going on? What was that all about? And I was the first one to talk. I was like, not having any of this. I was getting so annoyed. I felt like saying, right, can we just do this outside so I can knock the shit out of you? But unfortunately there was police outside, so you know I had to go careful what I was saying. And so I was like, well, I don't even fucking know him. Well, I didn't even say frick, and I said, I don't even fucking know him. He's being so immature. He's acting like a 2-year-old. He just has to grow up. And I was shouting at him. And the two security guards, which were either side, to obviously make sure that nothing happened. He was like, because I was pointing my hand straight to the kid, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he was like, right, can you please put your arm down? And I was like, man, I'm gonna fucking knock you out in a minute. And James was next to me, just like looking at him like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah? Yeah. And it was funny, seriously, if you were there, it was just so funny. And on the kid, was, oh yeah, the security guard was like, well, make sure you don't fucking do it again or you're getting kicked out. And I was like, yeah, whatever, mate. And the kid was like, oh yeah, I was just gonna leave anyway, I'm just getting a bit weary now. I was like, oh, fuck off. Oh, when he said that, I was like, oh, I was just gonna, I didn't care at that point if I was gonna get kicked out, because when he said, oh, I don't really care, I was gonna leave anyway. It's just gonna, a bit too hot. He was being so cocky, and I know I'm cocky, and yeah, sorry. As you just saw, I look a bit different now. Like, it's a different angle. As I just want to say that my camera just cut it out, so I just got to carry on from where I was. So I think I just looked back at what I was saying. So basically, when I like, people know me, and I know I'm cocky, but people know that I'm only joking. And when I'm cocky, I make it funny. So most people just deal with me, and they know that I'm only joking, so they don't take me that seriously. But this guy was just like, oh, if you were in my position, you would want to fucking, just smack him one. But yeah, and I don't think, when I just watched this back, when he said, when I was just making that stupid noise, I don't think you could really understand what I was saying. So basically, when the guy said, oh, I'm just gonna leave anyway, I'm getting a bit hot and I'm getting a bit tired, that's basically what he said. And I was like, oh, just shut up. But he said it in a very cocky way, and I just really hated it. But anyway, after that, and I just had to get my iPod, hang on, I'll be back in a minute. So yeah, basically, after it all cooled down, we all went back into the club, and James was just looking at him, and that's when we noticed that he stretched his t-shirt. And so when we noticed that, James just wanted to go and smack him one, but I just calmed him down. And so after that, we just, hang on, there we go. Yeah. After that, we just tried to just forget what we just saw, and just try and carry on having a good time. So we did. We went back onto the stage, and we met up with these two other girls, and they weren't too bad, but they were proper weird. Not proper weird, but very loud, but then can be a bit weird. And they're okay. They're okay looking, but this girl called Megan, she was a bit weird after I went back home and started talking to her on Facebook. And sorry if you can hear that in the background, my sister is cleaning Ruby, so, well, giving her a wash. And so I'm going to say what she was talking to me, how she was talking to me on Facebook. And apparently she didn't want a relationship, and she was just trying to make me look a bit stupid what I said, but I knew she wanted a relationship. So so yeah, I'm going to say what she was talking to me on Facebook and what made it a bit weird. So yeah, so I'm going to try and go as fast as I can, and you're probably telling me just to get on with it, so I'm just going to get on with it. So right, so she said hello to me first, and I said hey, and then she said, yeah, you okay? And then I was like, yeah, not bad, just tired. You? And then she said, nothing, to be honest, and tonight was great, to be honest. Tonight, well, Envy was pretty crap, to be honest. Hi, yeah, it wasn't too bad. How many times you been? She said a few times, to be honest. And I was like, have you been to Nick? She said no. I was like, well, to be honest, a bit like Envy, but just more people. And together. Oh yeah, and then she's like, what you up to? And I was like, well, this is 1 o'clock in the bloody morning. What the hell do you think I'm doing? Having a wank? And no, I didn't say that. And then I say, nothing much really, just in bed, tired. What about you? And then she says, thinking and texting. And then Lara, her friend, she says, well, no, Lara tried to get me to kiss you earlier. And I was like, okay, did she? Haha. And she said, what would you have done if I did? So I obviously had to play along and be nice. So I had to say, yeah, I probably would have carried on. depending if you actually wanted to. And then she says, did you want to? And I was like, well, I had to play along. And then I said, yeah, but I didn't want to just in case you smacked me. Just trying to be funny and, nice. And then she said, I would not have smacked you. I would have kissed you back. And I was like, okay then. And then I was like, damn, fair enough, haha. Thinking that she was going to forget about it and just go on to a different subject. But no, she has to take it further and say, where do you live? Now I've got a stalker behind me, and now I have to say where I have to live. And then I said Langport, and then she was like, oh, where's that to? And then I said, well, between Somerton and Cove Rival. And then afterwards, I was hoping that just by saying that where I lived was just going to pass away. And then she said, hey, do you want to meet up? And then I'm going to be like, well, okay, depending on where you live. And then she says, Shepton Mallet, but I was like, and then she said, but I could meet you in the street or something. And I was like, well, to be honest, I don't really want to meet up with you. But then, of course, I had to play along. So I was like, yeah, but I can't do this week, maybe next week. Hoping she was going to just say, okay, thinking that she got the message and said, okay, what about next week? And then hopefully she just forgot about me. But unfortunately that didn't work, as she said, well, before we go head on ourselves, I said, well, I have to go because I've got work in the morning. Speak to you soon. Hoping she was going to get the message, going to be like, okay, I won't bother with you. But unfortunately she said, when I said I'll speak to you soon, saying that my goodbye, she said, good night, love you. Who the hell would say that? I don't even know you. And it's like, just don't say that. This is how weird this girl is. And I'm actually blocking her from seeing this video because she's weird. And she's actually been liking my statuses about this video that I'm making. So it's going to be really awkward if she did actually see this video. And then she said hey to me the next morning, and I just ignored her. And then, so obviously I didn't want to be mean, so I said, hey, sorry, went to sleep, and I'm not really up at 8ish as I had work in the morning. Yeah, so I said sorry, and then she was like, it's okay, and then she said, hey, so I was like, oh, for God's sake, now I've got to say, hey. And then I was like, and she was like, yeah, you okay? And I was like, yeah. And then suddenly, she doesn't stop saying, do you want to meet up? She has to say, not bad, we still going to meet up next week. And I was like, oh no. And then so I had to make up a quick excuse, making out that I didn't want to meet up with her. And so this is my excuse of not meeting up with her. So I said, well, I've been thinking about it, and a couple months ago I split up with my girlfriend, and I'm not really ready to have a relationship. I just want to concentrate on life, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to have to say no, but just not right now, sorry. And then she had to say, I don't want a relationship, making me look like the bad guy. And obviously she does. And then as soon as she said that, I was like, well, I don't want to meet up. That's exactly what I said. If you can see that, I actually did say that, well, I don't want to meet up. And if you didn't notice, look how many X's she puts. If you can see that, she puts loads of X's at the end of her sentences. And then as soon as I said, well, I don't want to meet up, look, now ready? Watch this. At the end, she puts 0 X's. So you could tell she wanted this relationship to go further. And I just rejected her, basically. So yeah, she was the weirdest one. So almost at the end of the video, thank God. Sorry if you saw that other girl who I was talking to. That's the one I'm chatting up. And so basically, oh, he's ugly. And and so after I started finishing like talking to her, near the end of the night, we both hugged, and that's it. And when we actually walked out of the club, going back to Megan and not Megan, Lauren and Jasmine, the two fitties. Basically, we actually never spoke to them at that night, but then we actually met up and actually spoke to each other, and they were actually really nice people. And James told me that they both liked me, But then I thought that Jasmine liked James, but then James just kept on saying that she liked me, so I was like, okay then, fair enough. And what's really annoying is that at that night, I actually did talk to Jasmine like a little bit, saying like, did you have a boyfriend? And she said no, but then at the night she said yeah, kind of. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna flirt with her just in case she had a boyfriend. And then she, at the end of the night, she said that she didn't have a boyfriend. And I was like, well, I could have fucking made a move. And like they all just started laughing. And then and the blonde girl, I actually thought like she was more secure to herself. Like she didn't, if like someone did try and make a move on her, she would probably smack me. But so that's why I didn't really do anything. And then I found out they were 14, which isn't too bad. Okay, I suppose. And they were actually really nice people, and they just walked off. And yeah, and then what was really annoying is that when they went, James rang up his parents and said like, "Oh, you guys on your way?" And they only just left 5 minutes ago, and we had to stay there for like another 15 minutes. So we just walked off down into the street, not that far away from the club. We just sat on these 2 walls, started talking, and then these like other 5 girls came along and said, "Oh, you just came from Envy?" And I was like, "Yeah, did you just come from there?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, then why are you talking to us then?" And she was like, "Okay, well, do you have a fag?" And I was like, "Do you think I really smoke?" And then she said, "Oh, you're a goody goody." And I was like, "Are you being serious? Are you this immature? Just because I don't smoke doesn't mean that I'm a goody goody. I just don't like smoke and I don't like the smell of it. Okay? I have plenty of friends who do smoke, but I just don't smoke. So even though I'm coughing, doesn't mean that I smoke." And yeah, and they were pretty weird. And there was this girl, like a group, when the group came over, there was this brown or blonde girl with like 3 moles on her face, and I was so tempted to say "mole bole 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 bole," but I didn't, because obviously I was mean. But I didn't even know then they were all chavs, and they were only 13 and they started smoking. I was like, that's well bad, but that's my opinion. But guys, that is it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. But after all that, guys, we were thinking of going back. We're not too sure yet, but we will see, guys. But if you like the video, guys, just like this video. I'm only uploading this to Facebook, so it's easier to find. And so yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Share this video if you like to. Share this to your parents if you want to. I don't mind. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you maybe in the future. I'm going to Strode College, guys, hopefully. And yeah, so if you're going to Strode College, you're going to see me. Yay! Not that that's a good thing, but yeah. See you next time, guys, and peace out.